ECOWAS will remain strong and resilient, President Buhari assures immediate past ECOWAS president.
The legal mechanism in the operation of the sector that is vital to the government's plan for self-sufficiency in food production and for the diversification of the economy.
1 billion naira cassava fund still lying in a bank since 2014. Senate to give legal backing to give the needed impetus.
Toby Amazon scores in one night, and she makes history by becoming Nigeria's first world champion.
Plus, the world at her feet, Toby Amazon burns the tracks of Oregon to rewrite history in 100 meters hurdles, wins gold and the hearts of 200 million Nigerians. Hello and thank you for joining us on Network News of Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. We are live in Abuja. I am Kenne Ima Abodike. Don't forget, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. President Muhammadu Buhari this Monday granted audience to the outgoing president of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassibrou, thanking him for the role he had played in ensuring that the sub-regional body remains united, responsible and responsive. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
The outgoing president of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassibrou, was in the State House to bid farewell to President Muhammadu Buhari as his 4-year tenure comes to an end. He thanked the Nigerian leader for his unprecedented support to the sub-regional organization, particularly at a time of great challenges like COVID-19 and political instability in some West African countries. He also lauded all ECOWAS leaders as well as Nigerian ministers who made his tour of duty a successful one. President Muhammadu Buhari noted that despite the challenges of insecurity and political tension in some countries, the ECOWAS president and his team showed capacity and patience in dealing with all the issues. Jean-Claude Cassibrou, he said, demonstrated great commitment to the unity of ECOWAS and of the sub-region, describing his tenure as very successful. President Buhari hoped that Brou's successor would study what made him succeed for the good of the sub-regional body. Jean-Claude Cassibrou, an Ivorian politician and economist, served as Minister of Industry and Mines before his appointment as President of the ECOWAS Commission in March 2018. He is succeeded by Dr. Umar Aliyu of the Gambia. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari will on Tuesday, 26 July, depart Abuja for Monrovia, Liberia, to attend the 175th Independence Anniversary celebration of the country. The trip signifies the importance attached to the security and well-being of Liberians and the rest of West Africa. President Buhari, who will be the special guest of honor at the event, joins other world leaders and organizations to rejoice with the people of Liberia at the event with the theme Fostering Unity, Protecting our Peace for Development and Prosperity. Nigeria played a leading role in the stabilization of the West African nation in the early 90s, leading to the establishment of democratic rule, and has continued to assist the country in many ways, especially through the Technical Aid Corps scheme. In 2019, President Buhari was conferred with the highest national honor in Liberia, the Grand Cordon in the Most Venerable Order of Knighthood of the Pioneers of the Republic of Liberia, in recognition of Nigeria's continued support towards the development of the country. The president's trip to Liberia therefore comes at a time when political instability and the return of coup d'etat have upended 2 to 3 decades of democratic order in the sub-region. Liberia, Sierra Leone, along with Nigeria, are going into elections in 2023, and President Buhari is expected to emphasize the importance of free, fair and credible elections and respect for rule of law throughout the sub-region, without which there cannot be security, peace and development. This may bring Nigeria and Liberia to table issues of cross-border terrorism, to bolster defense and trade ties. Now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been discharged from the hospital following the successful surgical operation and rehabilitation. A statement from Dr. Nicholas Audiferan, Chief Personal Physician to the Vice President, indicates that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was admitted to the Duchess International Hospital, Lagos on July 16, 2022 on account of a right femur fracture and had corrective surgery without any complications. The Vice President was admitted for 7 days, during which he had physiotherapy and a smooth rehabilitation following the surgical operation, and has now been discharged and recuperating. The Gombe State government has reassured of commitment to the health care of its citizens. This is with the enrollment of people at the grassroots and the less privileged under the state's free basic health care provision fund program, Go Health. Talato Lamon reports that the contributory health care management scheme started in the state last year.
Since the commencement of the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund program last year, under the Gombe State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency Go Health, over 25,000 enrollees benefited with access to free medical care services. This year, Go Health is targeting over 40,000 beneficiaries with the mindset that by 2026, the state government will be able to achieve a universal health coverage.
Now have improved access, and we are hoping going forward we will be able to upscale these numbers to accommodate more poor and vulnerable people across Gombe State.
Pregnant women, children below the age of 6, physically challenged, internally displaced persons, as well as widows and orphans are among categories of people that Go Health offers free healthcare services across the 11 local government areas of Gombe State. Beneficiaries are happy with these developments. The registration and treatment is done free of charge, and we appreciate Gombe State government for the gesture. Since I registered here and have been coming, I get medication free of charge. The enrollment exercise will last for 10 days. In Gombe, Talatu Lamon, NTA News.
Away from security, another circle comes the way of farmers in Gombe Central Senatorial District as 20 trucks loaded with fertilizer are lined up for distribution to them free of charge, courtesy of Senator Mohammed Danjuma Goje. Nafisa Umar Garba reports.
It was another unforgettable moment for people in Gombe Central Senatorial District when Senator Mohammed Danjuma Goje distributed 12,000 bags of NPK fertilizer free of charge. This is coming at a time when farmers are battling with high cost of fertilizer. Senator Mohammed Danjuma Goje is targeting the less privileged as he tries to increase sustainable income, job creation, and ensuring food security in his constituency.
Farmers need a lot of assistance. They need to be assisted, given the prevailing difficult economic situation we're all in. We felt that if we give them this fertilizer, it will go a long way in alleviating their suffering and reducing whatever difficulties they have in running the affairs of their families.
We are talking of quality fertilizers that are being distributed to local farmers to enhance the productivity of their crops, and we will continue to support this gesture from our distinguished senator.
With free fertilizer from Senator Goje, farmers in Gombe Central Senatorial District are more hopeful of bumper harvest this cropping season.
The way it is given free of charge, I want to call on the beneficiaries to avoid selling the fertilizer. So people do not have to and they are given free fertilizer.
3,239 bags of fertilizer will be distributed to traditional rulers and 10 bags across 874 polling units of Akko and Yemo to the local government, making up Gombe Central Senatorial District. Nafisa Umar Garba, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Education has ordered the immediate closure of one of its colleges, the Federal Government College Kwali, located in Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Education Minister Adamu, who gave the directive, said the closure became necessary following a security breach on Sheda and Lambata villages, suburbs of Kwali Area Council, which also threatened the Federal Government College Kwali. In a statement, the minister said the timely intervention of security agencies saved the situation. Adamu also directed that arrangements be made for final year students to conclude their NECO examinations, while principals of unity colleges across the country were also directed to liaise with security agencies within their jurisdictions in order to forestall any security breach in schools. Now to security matters, where relatives of the victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack have picketed the headquarters of the Transportation Ministry in Abuja, demanding for more federal government intervention in the release of the remaining victims. At a protest, the relatives acknowledged the government's efforts but pleaded that more should be done to quicken the process. Oyinaya Kaluwaka reports.
Emotions filled the air. They came in their numbers as early as 6 o'clock in the morning and blocked the entrance to the premises of the Ministry of Transportation. The placard said it all.
Is there only one person there? Please. They are undergoing tremendous difficulty. To the extent now that they have been threatened, their lives are being threatened.
I know a father who is 92 years old. He has a son in captivity. He has been sick for over 2 weeks now.
And government should declare an emergency on that issue because anything can happen. We don't know. We are scared to death.
And by the grace of Minister of Transportation, Abuja assured the relatives of federal government efforts on quick release of their loved ones.
Inshallah, we will fight it together by the grace of God until everybody is reunited with their family. What I want you to do for me, please, for the sake of Allah, pray for us.
Railway Corporation is in touch with the families of the staff who are in captivity. Even up to last week, the MT Railway Corporation still briefed me on the conversation that they are having with the families.
On the 28th of March 2022, the Abuja to Kaduna train was attacked, with about 8 passengers killed and some kidnapped. Oyinaya Kaluwaka, NTA News.
Meanwhile, 3 victims of the abducted Abuja to Kaduna train have been released today. The victims, 2 males and a female, were released by the bandits at a location inside the forest along the Kaduna-Abuja highway. From there, they were picked up by their relatives. With the release of the 3 victims, the number of those still in captivity remain 40. You're watching the news on NTA. We'll take some messages. The news continues shortly. Welcome back. Let's talk sports now. Nigeria left her best for the last day of the 2022 World Athletics Championships in Oregon. We now relive the glorious moment for the team.
Toby Amerson, the African champion, the Commonwealth champion, clearly in the form of her life.
Sunday morning was momentous for Team Nigeria as the curtain fell on the 2022 World Athletics Championships in Oregon, Eugene, United States of America.
Amazon is in green for Matt Quick, second from the left. The Olympic champion's been left a little bit at the start by Armstrong. Amazon now beginning to come through. So too is Anderson. Toby Amazon. In one night, and she makes history by becoming Nigeria's first world champion. What a way to do it!
25-year-old Toby Amuson took the women's 100 meters hurdles gold in 12.06 seconds, making history as the first Nigerian to win a world title and an unprecedented world record in one day. Amuson first ran a blistering 12.12 seconds to shatter the world record of 12.20 seconds set by Kendra Harrison of the US in the semifinals.
I thought you were going to be mad because I was doing that fast. But, you know, the goal is to execute, and I need you to Yeah, so always take care of itself.
Nice. Did you feel like you were going that fast?
Oh, no, I wasn't, but I just, focused in my lane and just trying to execute and stay as relaxed as I can. I saw a little snippet of what Toby wrote, and she wrote, incoming world record holder. And to see it unfold today, I'm proud of Toby. Nothing short of inspirational. I know what Toby has gone through over the years. Finishing fourth twice is not easy. It's not an easy position. I know she's been close to throwing in the towel because we've spoken about that, and I've had those feelings as well. So to see her come out here and do this right now is amazing.
Amoson's 12.06 seconds in the final would, however, not be counted as it was deemed to be well over the legal plus 2.0 wind assist allowed in athletics.
The wind speed as at the time of the race at the stadium stood at 2.5 meters per second, which is above legal limits. And so it will not stand, but it is still the fastest time run. And it's amazing for us to witness it and see that it was done by Nigeria.
The record-breaking feat also enriched Amoson's purse with $100,000 by the organizers. Nigeria also celebrates another podium finish in the women's long jump event with Esa Brume's extraordinary effort of 7.02 meters leap for a silver medal.
It's silver, a huge jump, 7.02. Congratulations to the entirety of Nigerian athletes who are in Oregon.
The next World Athletics Championships will be hosted by Budapest, Hungary in 2023. In Abuja, I am Kenan Ima Abudike, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed heartfelt congratulations to Tobi Amusan for winning the women's 100 meters hurdles gold for Nigeria at the World Athletics Championship in Oregon, United States, setting a new world record in the semi-finals and becoming the first Nigerian to win a world championship. In a statement, the president thanks the track superstar for making the Nigerian national anthem resonate again from the international podium and inspiring upcoming athletes to strive for success. He also commends Esa Brume for representing Nigeria with honor, winning silver medal in the women's long jump event, as well as Team Nigeria for good sportsmanship at the world stage, proving that with hard work, success is achievable. And joining us via Zoom is the president of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Tonoboko Kowa. And in our studio, we have a sports analyst and former junior international, Dr. Michael Enaharo. Gentlemen, you must be buzzing with Tobi Amusan's golden performance at the World Athletics Championships. Let's really go straight to it. What actually is in that for Nigeria? Let's start with the molding camp as we talk to Tonoboko Kowa, who is in Oregon at the moment. Tonoboko?
Yeah, how you doing?
We're fine.
Yeah, point of correction, I'm not in Oregon.
All right.
Okay, I'm back home in Nigeria.
Welcome back.
So, how you doing today?
We thank God for everything. Tell us exactly what's happening. What is the mood in the camp right now?
Everybody is happy, although some of the athletes, they've gone back to their respective places, and then some of them will be leaving from the U.S. to the Commonwealth competition, the Commonwealth Games. So at the moment, it's over, and then by the grace of God,
well, Mike is in our studio while Tonoboko and is also there. Let's talk about Esa Brume, because Tobi Amusan has done it like never before. Esa Brume did something nobody actually expected. That should be the first time in the long jump for Nigeria in the history of world athletics.
Yeah, I mean, the longest we've had that has got us a laurel is our illustrious Chema Junwa, and I think she was a 6.9-ish, I think, in that region. So she should be the first woman to cross over 7 meters, and I think that's a very unprecedented status in itself. It just sets a new benchmark again for us, and we begin to see that Nigerian jumpers. It's another thing that we've got 2 jumpers in the finals of an international event. So I'm looking forward to seeing that the World Championship is proving to be a warm-up. It's like a tuner to the Commonwealth Games. So I'm looking forward to their performances in the Commonwealth Games.
All right. Let's talk about something very important to us. But we understand that Okowa is back on the saddle. Tony Boka, if you are hearing us, what is next for the team? Because Commonwealth Games is in the offing.
Yeah, most of the athletes that went to World Championship will be going to Commonwealth Game, and they are all prepared. At least we have seen we've seen the performance they put up in Oregon. Definitely, a lot of things they have been corrected. The coaches have been working with them during the competition. So a lot of things they have been put in place for them to perform better in the Commonwealth. And of course, it's not every country that will be coming into Commonwealth. It's only the countries that belong to Commonwealth. So we are going to see better performances that will come out from the athletes this time. And I want to tell you that we are going to do a lot better than it used to be in the past. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing that has started, and most of the athletes are poised now to really want to do well. Of course, with what SA and
all right, we're still missing the signals there. One of the quartets in the 4x100 meters women, that's Rosemary Chukwuma, if I'm right.
Yes.
You discovered her through your series of initiatives in athletics.
Yes. Rosemary Chukwuma is a proud Abuja citizen. She went to GSS Jiwa, and she was discovered from GSS Jiwa, and she joined the Kids and Play program, and then elevated from there and went to college with help of local coaches here in Abuja, Gardon Megbo, Murphy, Adaji, Chris Ame, all Abuja residents. And so Rosemary, Favor Philly, and Joy Udobong were homegrown, because for 3 to 4 years, and with the Make It of Champions in Lagos, so they went going. Rosemary is actually the world's fastest female youth, because she was an Olympic youth champion, and same with Favor. And so they've been going, and they also have bronze medals from the previous Commonwealth Games. So these young developmental athletes have gone through the right process of development, because they started local. They dominated the local Nigerian scene for youth and their age grade, and then they went on to do things in the national team out of Nigeria before going abroad into the collegiate system, where they came tested. They were internationals by the time they got to college. And that's the pathway for the real grassroots progression that we see.
All right. Toby Amuson has been knocking on that door severally. Finally, she got it. Yes. Now, what went into her preparation, even as we go to the Commonwealth?
Look, her team is excellent. Her coaches have done the right work. Her team of trainers and a team of publicists have kept Toby very focused and very, 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 very driven. And when you become fourth twice in major international competition, you know, it's a driving point for you to understand exactly where you have to be, because you know you're as good as the three in front of you. Because when you go back to the IAAF series, you beat them. So when you go back to the series of professionalism, you beat them. And then you come to the international series, one or two things don't work. So this was Toby's moment. And it happened in the US, where she lives and she resides and she trains. So it's a big stage, and most of the other athletes also are resident in the US, and she's beating them on their own home soil. And it's unprecedented to break a world record twice in one night. And that's where athletics has stood up for Toby Amuson and said, yes, you will never be forgotten, because your world record will still stand, but you're the only person to date who has broken a record in the same event twice in one night. And let's see who's going to come and eclipse that. But I hope it's a Nigerian as well.
But then Commonwealth is around the game. What are your expectations?
Look, I think this is a tune-up for them. It's like our men's relay. The boys are just getting together, and they've just gotten to understand themselves. They would have made the semi-finals and at least made the finals. Right now, the Commonwealth is that opportunity for us to see the men run and pass on. It's the opportunity for us to see our fastest man in Nigeria, Favor Ashe, and let him get on and begin to see these things happen.
Thank you, Mike. Let's quickly return to Tonoboko Kowa. How do we sustain the feat achieved in Oregon as we progress?
Well, all it takes is to make sure we keep in check with all of them and make sure their welfare will always be on top there all the time. We make sure they have what they need to assist them, because without adequate welfare, these kids, most of them are not working, some of them are. They cannot survive well because they keep training. So that's going to be number one in the pipeline for us now. And then apart from that, competition, make sure they go to different competitions and get ready for next year. Don't forget that it's also going to come up next year in Hungary. So we have to make sure we keep check and competition that will be, because when you go to different competitions, that's when you check yourself and then go back to the drawing board and see how you can do it better. Like you said, Tony Amuson has been working hard on and on. Not too long ago, she broke the African record and again did it, and then now the world record. So we just have to keep up with them all the time.
All right, thank you, Tonoboko Kowa, President of Athletic Federation of Nigeria, and good luck to you as we move to the Commonwealth Games with these wonderful athletes. And of course, Dr. Mike Nahara, right here in the studio with me, has been marvelous talking with you tonight.
Thanks again, Guinea.
Thank you very much. We're hoping to.
All right, President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed a Deputy Co-Marshal Dauda Alibiu as the Acting Co-Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, following the retirement of Boboye Oyemi. This was revealed during the bowing out ceremony of former Co-Marshal Boboye Oyemi. Oyemi Ajayi has details.
That is Boboye Oyemi bowing out of office after 34 years of service at the Federal Safety Corps. He is the first serving Corps Marshal to be pulled out and the last of the pioneer staff of the Corps, having worked in almost all the departments of the FRSC.
It is the formidable team of selfless and beautiful officers across all ranks that have contributed to the truly transformative achievements of over 34 years of existence of the Corps. During my tenure as the Corps Marshal and with the support of the management team, we were able to record successful projects and initiatives.
Earlier, he had handed over to the Deputy Corps Marshal Accounts and Finance, Dauda Alibiu, as Acting Corps Marshal, who takes over with the mandate to further reduce road crashes on the highways.
We strive to maintain the standard. We also strive to ensure that the mandate of the FRC is pursued vigorously.
And that all of you, especially the DTRs and the ATMs and all the members of staff, will give your full support to the acting DTR so that you could navigate the Federal Safety Code successfully.
Boboye becomes the longest serving Corps Marshal after serving in that capacity for 8 years and the first to rise through the ranks to become the Chief Road Management Officer in the country. As we say, the last man standing finally bows out of office. Oyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Thank you for staying with us. The National Assembly is working to give legal backing to federal government's policy on cassava inclusion. At a public hearing by the Senate Committee on Agriculture, the Cassava Cottage Processing Marketing Association of Nigeria says more than 1 billion naira approved for this policy in 2014 is still lying unused at the Bank of Industry. Ignatius Nkuo reports.
The presidential initiative on cassava, launched in 2003, was designed to make cassava a viable foreign earner for Nigeria and to encourage Nigerians to consume bread made from cassava flour.
When passed into law, it will create market opportunities for Nigerian cassava farmers.
This issue has long been under our consideration, and I pray the National Assembly will expedite action on it.
the legal mechanism in the operation of a sector that is vital to the government's plan for self-sufficiency in food production and for the diversification of the economy.
19 years down the line, the intent of the policy is yet to be achieved, especially as Nigerians are now faced with stifling cost of reliance on wheat bread.
National cassava processors and marketers stand to add value. When we add value, we have the HQCF, high quality cassava flour.
There are a lot of money that was given to us at that time to establish all these factory industries. That money is still lying hard due at about 2.2 billion.
The need to put heads together to enforce this policy and the bill seeking to make it a law has passed second reading in the Senate and thrown up to members of the public for inputs from the National Assembly. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Up next is business news with Musa Abubakar.
Thank you, Kenny. The federal government says that the debt profile of the country can improve with collective efforts to improve revenues and end the subsidy regime, which may cost Nigerians more than 6 trillion naira in 2023. This was disclosed at a consultative forum on Nigeria's medium-term expenditure plan. The Director General of the Debt Management Office, Patience Oniha, observed that Nigeria has one of the lowest revenue to GDP ratio in the world, hence inadequate to provide for infrastructural development on the long run without borrowing.
Why is the debt stop growing? You can see it from the presentations that we've been having for several years. When the budget is drawn up, it is drawn up from the budget. There's revenue, there's expenditure, then there's a gap that is funded by borrowing. It doesn't just happen, accidentally or without any approvals. That's one. But having said that, what are we even doing to ensure that even if you have to borrow, the debt service cost can be moderated? Over 60% of our external debt is actually from concessional sources. So we're talking of costs below that are at most 3% and are spread out over a long period. If we didn't have those strategies in place, the debt service will actually be higher. We would like to see more revenue so that the debt service to revenue ratio is high.
We got into recession and got right back out. The truth is that without the expansionary fiscal stance, which was only made possible given the weak revenue performance by the borrowings, it will not have been possible for the country to emerge that quickly from recession.
At the capital market, the equities market resumed negative close to the first trading day of the week on a bearish note. The all-share index dropped to 51,400.53 points this Monday from 51,979 points in the previous session. Market capitalization also depreciated to 27.7 trillion naira. Investors exchanged 98.8 million shares valued at 2.5 billion naira in 4,314 deals. UBA, Zenith Bank and Transcorp were the most active shares at the end of the day's transaction. Well, that's business news. Kenny, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Musa. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, INEC FCT Resident Electoral Commissioner Yahaya Bello has noted some challenges worth addressing in a bid to properly meet the set guidelines. Aisha Ubali reports that the challenges are the fallout of the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise billed for suspension on July 31, 2022.
The permanent voter registration exercise commenced June 2021. As the Commission counts down to the end of the exercise, it is necessary for the Commissioner to brief the press, assessing the exercise, which has been adjudged good only for the little hitches. He, however, commends the National Commission for the support in enhancing the process.
They should always tell our staff at the station centers exactly what they want to do. Either they have never listened before, they have lost their own, it is interest, they want transfer from one place to another and stuff like that. They should not hide one card and register afresh. It will not help them, it will not help us.
Yahaya Bello says registrants will be contacted via short message service (SMS) when the cards are ready, but expressed displeasure at the huge number of invalid registration due to multiple application. In the meantime, the hour of registration has been extended to 5 p.m., including weekend registration, as assurances from the national chairman is that 2023 elections will be one remarkable election that will ever be conducted in the country. In Abuja, Aisha Oba Ali, NTA News.
More stories after this timeout. Stay with NTA Network News. Some civil society organizations, concerned groups, as well as other well-meaning Nigerians have expressed commitments towards sustenance of Nigeria's democracy. Kenneth Nanning reports that Good Governance Awareness Initiative, a non-governmental organization, is one of the latest to join in the sensitization campaign for a free and fair election that will engender good governance in the country.
Nigeria has been commended at many local and international fora for an uninterrupted democracy since 1999, and INEC is leveraging the political experience of over 2 decades to deepen the electoral process through the deployment of ICT. But issues of vote buying and selling seem to continue unabated, as alleged by election observers during the Ekiti and Osun off-cycle governorship elections conducted recently. The situation prompted independent research by a non-governmental organization, the Good Governance Awareness Initiative, which pointed to poverty, ignorance of the law by the electorate, voter apathy, and the urge to win elections at all costs by unpatriotic politicians as major causes of vote trading during elections. They also came up with solutions,
including purchasing body cams for police officers at the polling units and setting up of mobile courts in the 774 local governments in the Federation to expedite the persecution of vote buyers and sellers. There should be stiffer penalties for both vote buyers and sellers.
The group also recommended intensified voter education by INEC and other relevant agencies as key to ending vote buying and other electoral malpractices in the country. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And recent events in the country's polity are mere distractions to divert government's attention from the core issues of national development and social justice for the citizens. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Ayuba Waba, who said this in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, insists that the Nigerian workers must rise and get involved in governance ahead of the 2023 general elections. Clement Barakui reports.
Investigation reveals that wherever bad governance exists in any part of the world, workers have always been at the receiving end. Poor remuneration, poor working conditions, denied benefits, and high cost of living without commensurate wage increments are some of the many challenges most workers face around the world. Challenges of governance and the outbreak of COVID-19 have further worsened the situation. This 18th NLC International Rain School is therefore to enable labor leaders within and outside Nigeria to brainstorm on how the active involvement of Nigerian workers in the governance process can change the narrative.
We are going to engage in a number of activities, including having town hall meetings across all the strata of the labor movement and also worker strata to be able to engage them, but also to engage the political elites about how to do things differently and bring about a leadership that can address the multifaceted challenge facing our country.
We are recovering from the devastating impact of COVID-19 pandemic. The importance of social justice is ever more pressing.
What has been to be objective in our assessment of the political situation?
The 5-day Rain School, which has at its theme labor, politics for national development and social justice in Nigeria, drew participants from the 49 affiliates and state councils of the NLC. In Uyo, Clement Barakui, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dongban Mansem, over the loss of her son, Prince Peke Dongban. In a condolence message to the Justice Dongban Singh, President Buhari described the death of the young mathematician as tragic and praised God to grant him eternal rest and the family fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. President Buhari assures the Court of Appeal President of the prayers and the thoughts of the entire nation during this trying moment. Let's now